Hi everyone, my name is Ymir. I also go by AlmondMnMs and welcome to my Flosstube. I think this is number 15. I always do this and I don't check, but I'm gonna check with you because I don't know why I do this, but I never check. I just hit record and then I'm just like, yay, well, let's do it. Okay, so yes, Flosstube number 15. So what a week, what a day, what a weekend. Today is Sunday, November 8th. You may see this video tonight or you may see it tomorrow morning. Totally depends on YouTube's uploading schedule because I've been having issues uploading to YouTube. I don't know if some of you have, but this girl has. But yeah, very eventful week, I must say, across the board for all of us, especially myself, work, life, and all the goodies. I haven't done much stitching, but I do have little itty bitty things to share with you all. And yeah, we could just get the ball rolling because that's what we're here for. I hope everyone is doing well. I wasn't able to post or record yesterday on Saturday. Technically I did, but your girl was talking and didn't hit record. So that's that. And yeah, so I'm doing this again. I do see that it's recording now and I'll probably be double checking multiple times. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, I figured I would come and check in on everyone. I hope everyone is doing well, regardless of whatever else is going on in the world, in your neighborhood, your backyard, and all the other places that may be a topic of discussion. I hope everyone is doing well. Genuinely, I hope everyone is doing well. If you're having a bad day, a down in a dump situation, reach out to me. I'll try to cheer you up. I can just tell you all the silliness I'm doing and we can just laugh together and make fun of me because obviously I've been a silly bucket this whole week, but we have to break the ice somehow. But yeah, so this week, as far as crafty related, has been pretty interesting because I feel like I'm gonna be saying a lot, but we'll just roll with the punches. It's been really interesting because I've been shopping for sock yarn and just yarn in general. I've just jumped down the rabbit hole, so it's like, welcome, I'm here in whatever pond of festering knitting and things like that. But I also kind of had a little bit of an education moment. It wasn't like an education moment. It was, I'll say it was an education moment, but it was also kind of like a keep your antennas up. Ooh, lotion. Keep your antennas up. I just came out the shower, guys. Tried to straighten my hair, didn't go well. It's a big floof ball. But it was just kind of like a keep your antennas up for a moment type of situation. And I can hold myself accountable for that, but also, you know, we're all kind of like a team and things like that. I'm not sure about other people in the community, but I know for myself, I leave the door, the table, the floor open. If you see me purchasing something and I'm like, oh guys, like I started working on this or I purchased this and I'm planning on working on it, and if you think that I should look deeper into the designer, the whatever, let me know. definitely let me know. I don't think I've done that yet, that I've had like any like issues with me purchasing something and then later finding out that it was somewhat of like a copy, or kind of like a, you know, like a close inspiration situation. You know, people use the word inspiration very lightly or heavily, whatever the case may be. But if you see that I'm showing something in a haul and I'm planning on stitching it, do me a favor and just drop me a message and let me know, like, hey, you should just dig in deeper into this. I'm fairly new to stitching in general, especially with a lot of like historic pieces, whether it's like, you know, for example, like, oh, I'm working on the Bristol sampler, like historically they're supposed to be red, or whatever case may be. Sometimes I may not know certain things as far as like, well, you know, this is done, this sampler looks very similar to such and such a sampler, like just dig in a little bit deeper. But yeah, like if you see something like that, like I will not support, or I don't want to say tolerate. Tolerate is a very heavy word, but I will not support someone that kind of like copies off of someone else, or someone that, you know, what's the word, like someone that I don't know, like gets inspiration from other people. That being said, I had like a mini discussion with someone about just purchasing patterns, and they made a few remarks about why they weren't purchasing. I don't know if it was a specific pattern or a family of patterns, or just what they saw on that shop, and I was just like, interesting. Like you're doing the responsible thing and doing your research, and A, I didn't pick up on that, and B, I should read deeper, you know. But that's that on that. Needless to say, also, I'm not here to shame anybody, but you know, I'm pretty sure everybody knows by now, but obviously there's like some Etsy shops even copying certain items off of people, which is totally unfair, and it's very effed up, because you know, people design, people take their time to come up with their ideas and things like that, and for someone to just kind of blatantly kind of cookie cutter copy off of it, or whatever the case may be, is just not fair to the designer, not fair to the person's time, their ideas, their art, and etc. But that's my ramble. I've been going at it for 8 minutes about that. But that being said, just let me know, especially if there's something that I'm working on and you don't hear me talking about it, whatever like the history may be, whatever the case may be, just be like, hey, like, did you know XYZ? I like trivia and things like that, especially when it comes down to artwork. I mean, I was an art student, so I should know better, but that's that. That being said, I'm looking here because I'm just like, I don't know where to start. I'm gonna pull this because also I want to talk about this, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know where to start, but we'll jump right in. Since I've been now purchasing a lot of things for knitting, I will leave it to the end and show you a little bit about my cross stitching. I haven't purchased anything cross stitching related. I'm still waiting on post office. Yeah, I think I have like 2 things still coming in the mail, so I'm still waiting on that. But I had some happy mail, which I'm super excited to share. I'm not gonna share their YouTube name because I'm not sure. Well, maybe, but because she's awesome. But oh my Ada, it's funny because I hear people say Ada and I also hear people say Aida. So oh my Ada, sent me a needle minder and such a pretty card. And I think she purposely did this because I'm just kind of like, I think you purposely did this, and I'm low-key loving it. So she obviously sent me a needle minder that's an M&M. It's a chip and I love it. So obviously she purposely did this, and it's like, hello, like how much fitting can this be to me? So this is going to be going, I'm going to be stitching with the Bristol sampler and the coverlet on this because yeah, like, I mean, how adorable is that? I love it. I've never seen anything like this. But the second thing that I was just kind of like, you definitely had to low-key purposely do this. Look how small and cute is the card. That's so tiny. I mean, it fits me. So I'm not gonna share what's on the inside, but I love it. I love it. I'm like, my boyfriend just looks at me like, you're such a weirdo, but me, but I love it. So thank you for that. I'm definitely going to be using it. Aside from that, I didn't have anything cross stitch related that I purchased, but I did purchase, as you can see, I'm not organized right now because I just said that I was going to leave the knitting for the end, but I'm going to share it because it is purchases. So I'll start with the gigantic one because it's gigantic. So I purchased a Swift and a winder. I know one is a Swift and I think the other one is called a ball winder. I'm not quite sure, but I ordered it and it's still in the box. And so I'm not going to take it apart yet, because A, I'm moving, and B, I'm moving, so I think it just makes sense to keep it that way until I need it. So I just opened it to make sure everything was in there and then put it back in there. I'm also not winding yet any of my yarns because your girl gotta finish what she's starting on, and trust me, you'll see the like minute start that I have, which is a joke, but we'll get there. We also I also spoke about last week that I signed up for Knit Crate, which is a knitting subscription. You have different options, but I signed up for the sock yarn subscription, but they also had a sale, and I decided to, guess what, purchase 3 more hanks of yarn from them. So I want to share it with you all. So I have this one. It's a beautiful mixture of like yellows, oranges. It's pretty much showing true to color. I love it. It's from Knit Logic. Don't quote my pronunciation, but that's that. I'm excited to use this one. It's gonna be colorful. I also purchased Crinkle, this one, which is kind of a mixture. It's like creams, a little bit of greens, browns. Such a great mixture. I'm actually in love with this. Love it. Then I purchased this one. Look at it. Like, it has the hidden blues and the hidden yellows. I have to like literally open it. So I'm excited for that. So these are the 3 that I got from Knit Crate. Aside from that, I did mention last week, I'm not gonna put this in the bag because I don't want to make a noise. I did mention last week that I was gonna go to a local needlework shop, but it's not a needlework shop. I don't even know what kind of shop it was, but I did go to one previously. So what I'm gonna say, it's not about the one that I went to. The one that I went to, which I shared the yarns last week, was Downtown Yarns. I went to another one. If you're FBI and things like that, you know, because your girl, I'm like that too. You can kind of narrow it down, but it's not my place to say. But I went there in the hopes of finding obviously cross stitch related things, and then obviously also some yarns. I didn't find anything cross stitch related in there, which was a bummer. Like, it was more needlepoint. And then, I mean, the whole vibe in there was very like, I ain't coming back in here again. But I did purchase a yarn, which was this one. I'm covering this because it has the name of the company where I purchased it from. So I got this one, which I like it. I'm not quite sure if it's enough to make a pair of socks, but it claims to be 100 grams. I highly doubt it because it doesn't weigh 100 grams in my hand. I'm very good at weighing things, and that comes from my jewelry background. I can feel like the gold weight in my hand, so I highly doubt that this is 100 grams. But I'll go by the labeling. I'm not quite sure, but we'll see. Whatever. Totally believe in, I guess, this brand. But I love it. That being said, I bought this just based on the color, and I wasn't not gonna shop because, I mean, I saw it, I had it in my hand, I kind of fell in love with it, and then things happened, and I was just kind of like, okay, great, I'll be buying this because I wasted my time to come up here, but your girl's never coming back in here again, and that's pretty much it. So that's that. I guess I won't be going there anymore. But I told you all that I am on a journey to start sourcing things to start dyeing fabrics, dyeing floss, and things like that. I'm still having a tough time to finding bulk silks and things like that, but I am working on it. So if you guys know of any place where I can buy bulk things, just let me know. Shoot me a message and I'll greatly appreciate that. But I did find a spot where I can buy bulk yarn. So I purchased bulk undyed yarn, bulk undyed floss, bulk undyed fabric. That's what I'm looking for. But I did find bulk undyed yarns. I did purchase, these two are the same, this is different, and this is different. So I purchased this just, you know, if I want to get into the whole dyeing it and things like that, which is most likely gonna happen, because once you start dyeing, like literally you just dye everything and anything that's dyeable. So be aware. I'm actually just looking at my invoice. So I got some Angora wool, some merino, and some cotton. So I kind of got three different across the board. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then aside from that, I really don't have anything else that I purchased. I promise I don't have anything else that I purchased aside from what I'm waiting for online that I purchased, and it's taking forever, but your girl understands. Aside from that, I have WIPs to show you, which is just one WIP, which is my Bristol sampler, and also my little knit situation. So I started working on, this is my mediocre, get it out the way. I started working on my casting on my sock, but look at it, mediocre. I'm a lefty, so I totally forgot about knitting and being a lefty. Sometimes it's a problem for me because just how I lay my stuff out and things like that. So if you didn't watch last week's video, this is my yarn for my socks. I started it. You're gonna hear kids yelling in the background. I don't know what's going on outside. People have been celebrating all weekend, and frankly, that's that. So they're probably yelling, and that's gonna come into the video. So that's pretty much what I work on knitting related this week, which wasn't much. I also brought an old WIP. Speaking of WIPs, I think I need to do like a WIP parade sometime. I think I'm gonna do it in December. Should I close the window? I think I'm gonna close the window. I think I'm gonna close the window. 1 second. Okay, back. All right, back. Made me lose my train of thought, but we will continue. I think I need to do a WIP parade sometime. At some point, I'll definitely do it before the year's over, because I kind of want to see where I'm at the ending of the year, or before the ending of the year, just to kind of know. I have a rule of not having more than 12 WIPs and 2 SALs. That being said, no more than 14 things. And to make it even, an additional one, which would be a forgive me piece. So that would be, hey, I already have 14 ongoing projects. This is the one project that I need to add on. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Forgive yourself. 15. So that being said, I don't have 15 WIPs yet, but I will probably have 15 WIPs, and I think that'll be more than enough for me to handle and kind of like a rotate. I think currently I have 8 going. I have a list on my phone. I have 8 going currently, but I pulled out this piece. I'm looking at it. I pulled out this piece, and I never really understood why. I don't want to say I don't understood why, what was the problem, but every single time I kind of felt like every single time, I don't know if I need to get in the vibe to stitch it, or if it's just dreadful for me. I've tried to like stitch on it. I had like the stitchy bug, and then I lost it with it. I did it all of the majority of sampler September, and then I shifted to something else. I think it was the Modern Folk Embroidery Quaker sampler. I'm not sure, but I did do a good chunk on it. I want to say I'm a little bit more than halfway. I'm gonna include the pattern here. But I don't know if it is the fabric. I don't think it's the fabric. I think it's the fabric size for me. I don't know what it is, but I tried stitching it twice this week, and I'll get like a few stitches in, and then I'm like, well, on to the next thing. So this is currently where I'm at with my squares. I don't think it's much from the last time that you saw. It's a hard word for me. But this is currently where I'm at with it. I am the type of stitcher that I'm going to, if I'm well into this, I'm gonna push myself to finish it, and I think I'm gonna be happy once I'm done. But currently your girl is not liking it. I believe this is a 30 count fabric or 32 count. I would have to double check. I think it's a 32. Let me just double check since I am right here and I can kind of go into my Instagram or go into my video notes and show it. But I think that is the fabric that's bothering me. I'm not quite sure. I don't know, because it's a 32 count linen and I'm doing it 1/1. I don't know what it is. I've heard people say that they you know, like they just dump stuff. I feel like dump is a bad word, but that they abandon WIPs, and I don't want to abandon this because I was very committed to the time on it. But I don't know what it is, why it's just so dreadful for me to continue working on this. And I do remember that I was calling this the frog sampler because I kept on having to frog, and it still is the frog sampler because it's the most that I've ever frogged in any piece. But that's what I worked on a little bit. Oh, and let me just show you the little bit of progress that I did. It was just basically a little bit on the borders that I did, and I believe I finished a little bit down here. But aside from that, I didn't do much on it. So I don't know what's the plan. Give me some ideas on what's the plan for this one. I'm not quite sure on what to do. I just threw it. I'm not quite sure. But I also worked on my Bristol sampler this week. I have a page finish, which I'm excited about, so I'm actually going to start working on a second page. I did do 2 stitch with me's this week. One was in Spanish and one was in English. Hopefully you all enjoyed it and were able to kind of see a little bit closer how I'm stitching it, which is pretty much not a big deal. But I do understand the controversy on it being 56 count 1/1. But I promise it's not as tough as most people may think. I think I don't use magnification or anything like that, but I think if you have the opportunity to use magnification, is that the word? Yes, it is. If you have the opportunity to use magnification on it, I mean, why not? But regardless, you don't have to stitch on a 56 count fabric. You can stitch on anything as long as you love it and you're enjoying it. That being said, I love this thing. I'm really digging it. I have a page finish. Yay! Let me show you. And my little squirrel. So I believe, and as you can see, it's getting smaller. So this is the bottom. It's like half of the page, you know, like it's cut off. And then the E is technically, the E and the R is a little bit pushed into the next page. The same thing goes for the G, a little bit of the X. I just figured I would just finish the whole thing, so I don't have to go back to the first page to double check anything. I can just continue. But this is where I'm at. It's my first page finish. I like it. I think I'm caught up to, this is a style that I'm doing with Tiffin Stitches and X Stitch MD. So I think I'm caught up to them. I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna have to double check their social media to see where I'm at. but I'm really digging it. I'm loving it. I'm loving the red. I'm doing it on a Surfine Aloe Vera Swirl. I think I got it right this time. But I love it. I am really loving it, and I have no complaints. It really, I think it's a piece that I keep on every letter that you're stitching. You're just kind of like, yay, I got one letter done, on to the next one. But also, I don't know, like I feel like this week has been a very kind of meditation type of week for all of us. Well, in general, like it's been a tough week for everyone, but for me it's been very much like meditating and kind of like just really mindfully stitching and thinking of things as I stitch. So I think I'm definitely gonna continue working on it for the next week and things like that. Before I started recording, I saw something on Instagram that I think I'm gonna start working on for someone to help make their day better, or hopefully their week better. Hopefully I'll be done with it this week, and I'll be able to share it with you all. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that to help a fellow stitcher out. But yeah, so hopefully can go from there, hopefully. But aside from that, I don't think I have much else to share. I'm kind of looking around. I don't think I have much else to share. Aside from that, I definitely want to thank the immense support that you guys are all showing me, the outpour of followers, commenting, reaching out on Instagram, liking the pictures and everything. So I am always grateful for everyone and all of the support that you all show me. As always, as I like to say, like this is just my little corner of just tiny stitches and my little itty bitty projects that I want to share with you all. I do want to say that hopefully I can't remember who I was talking to. I can't remember who I was talking to. I think it was Shiloh. It was somebody. It may have not been her. I don't know who it was, but it was just like, oh, it would be so funny if we take pictures with our projects together. But I think it was like I don't think it was Shiloh. I think it was somebody else. And I'm just kind of like, now I'm interested in finding a project that might be similar to any of mine. You know, like obviously like the Bristol sampler, like I'll probably have to like fly to Canada, or they come to the US, whatever the case may be, and be like, yay, let's stand together with our projects, because I think it'll be super funny of like the size difference. But I think I'm going to see if somewhere down the line I organize a mini, like, I don't know, like sow or whatever. Maybe I can do that with the Bristol sampler, fly down to Canada and for a weekend and just kind of just to take the picture, you know. Just kidding, just also to socialize and stitch. But aside from that, as always, as I say, I'm grateful for you all. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you during the week. I do plan on doing 2 more Stitch With Me's. I think my sweet spot is going to be 1 in English and 1 in Spanish on a weekly basis, plus a Flosstube. I think that's probably going to be what it's going to look like. I'm back on a calendar. So we'll see. I think I need to hurry up because my boyfriend is playing games in the background, so you can probably hear him yelling and probably saying a few not so cute bad words. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'll see you in a few more days if you watch the Stitch With Me's, whether it's in English, whether it's in Spanish. I do plan on doing a mini video on beading. I know Lori reached out to me and just asked me a few questions, which were valid questions about beading on tiny fabric. So I will definitely do that. I just need to partner with someone that may have a pattern that's beading related, and just probably send me like a little 10 by 10 square. I don't know, like just something like maybe this size, since my stitching is that small, possibly smaller than, I don't know, the letter A, whatever the case may be, just so I can share that part of the pattern and with the beads, with the stitching. But trust me, it's not bad at all. Like, you can definitely bead on these. There are super small beads, trust and believe me. I did use those for years because of my jewelry background and all of the jewelry production things that I made and all the great stuff. Like, I was using like super old Italian vintage beads to produce a lot of jewelry for other people and even jewelry for myself. So that is a possibility. It's just you're just gonna have to kind of like source it. It's not gonna be as easy as finding, you know, Mill Hill beads, or, you know, I think Mill Hill beads are pretty easy to find because they come in the little package. But whatever, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do that this week because I did promise to do that. I just have to find my mini beads and some mini tiny needles with some mini tiny threads. But that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling because I don't got nothing else to say or share. But aside from that, it was great seeing you all. Thank you for staying all the way to the end, and hopefully I'll see you sometime this week. If I don't see you between the two stitch with me's, hopefully I'll see you on the next video. So enjoy, have a great day, and happy beginning of the week, technically, because it is Sunday and maybe it's the ending of the weekend for you. So bye.